Welcome back to Council of the North, episode 29. I'm Will, and tonight I have with me Andrew
Greetings.
and Zach.
Cheers.
Kind of heard it there.
A little bit. Yeah, tonight we just finished. We were all at a tournament yesterday, Into the Wild. I ran it, and Zach and Andrew played in it. So we're going to talk about that tonight. But first of all, let's get into our usual stuff, our shame points that Zach's going to run us through. It's about whether we did our hobbying and posted to the Instagram before we record. Zach, you got the chart?
Bam, I got the chart. It's all up here. And I just got to put a little shout out to Ben Gallagher, Gondor Calls for Ale. He had a little bit suggestions for me, which I immediately threw out the window. He wanted something more quality. I said, you know what? This is fine. This works.
You can't even
read
read
it?
it, dude.
Is this better? I'm holding
It's
it for you, Ben, so you can
unreadable.
actually see it. But
No, give him the tilt. Give him the tilt.
I'll go through it once again for everybody. I am currently sitting on 8 shame points, and I have paid my penance on the first 5. And I painted, so I dodged another point this week, which means I stay at 8. I still have room for 2 more shames before I get punished again. Will, however, is sitting on 6. Somehow he got something painted. An orc that has nothing to do with any army he's playing, anything he wants to play. He's just trying to evade shame. Which I guess
one
is
of the
fine.
quickest paint jobs I've done.
Looked terrible, but you
Nice,
know,
dude.
got it done.
I was so angry doing it too. I was just like, because I know all the tournament prep we don't count as hobby because you guys and David Clubley gave me a shame point for that in the past.
That's right.
Yep, it's true.
So
Dude, that's
prepping and
extra.
prepping and running a tournament doesn't matter. Whatever.
That's extra.
I had to
Something
get it.
else.
hobby.
We're all about
Anyway.
hobbying here. And Andrew somehow escaped by with another 0 doing the... We thought last week he couldn't do the bare
You're
minimum.
going to call me out on painting 3 colors?
He did the bare minimum last week and painted some rims. This week he primed a single model. Not even a batch of
didn't
models.
Oh, dude, you didn't even read the post or look
You
at the
didn't
second
even
picture,
swipe
did
the
you?
post.
No, did I not pay that much attention? Probably
No,
wasn't worth
I
it.
trolled you.
This,
I just
he got
baited
you.
you so hard.
He got me? Oh, man. I gotta go look at this.
Yeah. You painted 2 orc captains, man.
Those 14
We're not-
rims
we're-
took me an hour, by the way. So it's not like it was just a
Oh.
quick job.
Dude,
Okay,
what's wrong
well,
with you, man?
that's what happens when
smooth.
you sit at home and have all
Show
the
up
time in
late
the
to the
world.
recording and leave a million times and
Yeah.
panic
Were
post
the orc captains for anything, or just you wanted to paint them up?
Half and half. They're metal made to order ones. They're really cool. I have like 50 orcs or 45 orcs or something. I'm sure I'll use them for something.
Yeah.
Maybe I got like the resin captain with the pick in the air, which is a cool captain, but it'd be nice to switch it up, you know?
Yep,
Use
fair
some
enough.
different guys.
Okay, well, 0 shame points for Andrew, and I will actually instead tip my
course.
hat to you, sir, on doing a good
Oh,
job.
for painting 3 colors, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That doesn't deserve a tip of the hat. None of us deserve a tip of the hat.
I
And I
liked
should
my
say,
model.
people.
I thought the Dwarf Hornblower turned out actually pretty good.
Oh, nice! You avoided 2 shame points to put a bit of color on 1 model.
Wow, dude. Works.
We
Hobbying's
gotta.
hobby.
hobbying.
Come on,
We
dude.
need to come up with some guidelines for these shame points.
Nah,
We
I
have-
like this. This is good
We
content.
have
Loosey
some-
goosey.
Someone commented saying Andrew should have one. I think it was Mike Collins from out west saying bases don't count. You got to paint models.
Like, I would say if like you did actual even basing on the top is fine. Just
If
the
you do
rims.
basing, that's
ugh.
awesome. Painting rims,
Just doing
man.
rims.
Dude, my rims take a long time.
We're gonna. I think that should be a shame point. We should retroactively add that one into the chart.
No,
That's not good enough.
not
I'm gonna
happening.
say going
if prepping
forward.
for a tournament all week isn't hobbying, then painting base.
Dude, I
rims
got
is not
paint
hobbying.
on miniatures.
Not on the miniature.
Yeah, the miniature is the whole thing, dude.
No.
As the shame point commissioner, I am going to allow Andrew to stay with no shame points for it. But going
How
forward,
generous.
painting rims do not count.
All right.
If you paint a rim
know
going
what?
forward, and that's your only thing you've done, that's a point.
Just because I'm so far ahead of you guys, I'll put that penalty on me.
Put it on the chart.
Well,
I just
now
keep
on
seeing that
to
blank space.
secondary chart. The challenge, Hobby 2026.
The challenge.
Well, let's do an update, guys. I've gotten some messages from some listeners. People are participating. They're getting stuff done. I think there was quite a few already at tier 3, which is
Yeah.
unbelievably good for them. I personally am at tier 2. I was able to complete that Hornblower, which checked me off on Depths of Moria, the lowest of the low, the scum of the earth. And at the tournament, as we'll go into more, I played a game. I played 4, but I couldn't move to the next tier because I still have to paint a hero. So, one thing away
I don't
from
think
me.
that should count because you didn't have a finished Hornblower before you went to the tournament. You didn't paint a model before you went
That's
to the
true.
tournament.
Yeah, I painted the model. I finished it on Friday. So that's
You
done.
just posted it right now.
I posted it, but I finished it.
Sounds like a lie. Okay.
Well, as the challenge commissioner.
Oh, you're going
It's
to rule
gone
in your own
through.
favor this time?
Yes, I'm going to rule in Zach's favor. I put on the
Unbelievable.
unbiased cap. I sat there. I looked at the evidence. It's good. What have you guys done? Have you guys participated?
I mean, the only thing I painted was before the tournament was I painted those rims and I glued flock on my bases. Does that count as painting a model?
From start to finish? No.
Okay, then I've achieved nothing.
I just painted an orc, but I didn't base it.
Well,
That
then you're
doesn't
at
count
nothing
yet. It's
too.
got to be based.
Oh, is the dwarf Hornblower based?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It is.
Let's see.
I almost had him.
It's got some texture paint there.
Yeah, no dry brush or anything on top of that.
Minimal effort.
Yeah, I guess I could do a little bit more there.
Nah.
If I wanted to.
I still haven't gotten out of tier 1.
That's kind of sad, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Apparently
disappointed in you.
too.
Listeners,
Nah, it's
excellent work. I know a lot of guys
Hold
have been
on.
doing it.
I got a question for you. I'm going to finish painting one of these Orc Captains. That'll be my miniature. And does that also check off painting a hero?
No.
So I got to paint the second
It's just got to
one,
be a
too.
separate thing. Each category can only be covered by one
Okay.
action.
All right, so I'll paint up two of these Orc Captains, and I'll be well on my way.
What? That is a valid question. For all those people out there
All right.
listening, you can't use it to speed your way through.
Andrew,
Yes,
do you want to do the quiz question?
I would love to do the quiz question that I totally just remembered about, but I nailed it. The quiz question this week for Are You Smart, Are You Zach? Is what is the name, and I was corrected here, the correct word is clan, of the Hobbit clan that enjoys water, spending time around water, and what is one notable Hobbit from this clan? Will, what are your answers?
Are we answering today?
We answer every week now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the clan, but I thought it was Smeagol.
Okay,
He was like the river hobbit or whatever.
Zach?
The answer is the Stewards, and I'm going to go with something different. I'm going to go with Deagle.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll give it to you. The Stewards is the correct clan. Deagle, I guess, is a notable hobbit. So you get that right,
notable,
Will. You get half a point for getting a notable hobbit of the clan.
So we got to start keeping track and see how many times Zach's smarter than Will, and we might have to change the name.
Oh,
Whoever has,
think
it's like the Gimli Legolas rule. Whoever has the lower count, are you smarter than that person?
Okay, well, you can go back and keep track of all that if you'd like.
No.
Some of our
I got no
listeners
charts.
got this.
I got 2 charts.
Yeah, you got one chart. You got 2 charts now. Some of our listeners who got this right is Michael, no last name on Spotify. You are correct. Also, 501st Legion, you got it incorrect, but we appreciate you answering. On YouTube, we have Alex Nolan, you got it correct. We've got Mr. Ben Gallagher, of course, nailing it. Nice to see you this weekend, Ben. There was one other one. Mike Underhill, of course, getting it correct. And I think Robert the Balrog Slayer Anderson getting it correct as well. If I missed you, I'm sorry. You can go buy yourself a beer if you got it right. And that is the quiz questions for last week's Are You Smart or Are You Zach? And this week, and I keep it simple and keep it easy and quick, okay? Because these guys don't like long, complicated questions, apparently. What is the name of the hidden city?
Oh,
That's it. That's
Don't
all you
say
get.
that.
That's all you get. That's all you're getting, okay? That's the question.
Zach sounds like he knows it though.
I'm sending it to Andrew, and I'm curious because I'll go down with the ship if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty happy with.
It's not. It's actually not that hard. It's pretty easy. But yeah, that's all you're getting. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Should I check Zach's? Yeah, Zach, you're right. Zach's
Yes, let's go.
allegedly got it right for next week. We'll see.
Man, I'm actually pumped
Spoilers.
about that one.
Okay, I'm gonna message.
Okay, here we go. We're live. We're live sneak
probably gonna cut
preview
this.
answering.
I'll probably cut this out.
Yeah.
Zach messaged already. I could just put it in the group chat, right?
No, I messaged him
yeah.
privately.
Yeah, but
Right?
it doesn't matter if you see my answer now, right?
Oh yeah, true.
No, because
So we
Zach's
can just
already got it right.
roast
Okay.
you live.
I said
Yeah, you both
Damn.
got it right.
It was pretty easy.
All right, well,
It was a
well,
pretty
it's not
easy
that
one.
easy, but you do have to read something outside of Lord of the Rings to know it, I think.
Okay.
But that's it for quiz. We went over shame points. Before we jump into the main topic, we want to quickly talk about something new. We've officially launched a Patreon. This is something a few people had asked us about, and we really appreciate that support. The goal here isn't to lock content away, but to give people a way to support us and also get some fun perks in return for doing that. Patreon members will help steal the show, voting on topics to talk about, shame lists that we have to play. Just a bit more say in what we're going to cover. A quick heads up, if you do want to support us, watch out. The Apple App Store does have some higher prices just because when you purchase through that app, Apple takes a cut. So web browsers and stuff is great for looking at supporting us. Any money raised is going to go towards DICE right away. There's a couple small recording pieces of equipment for recording that we want to look into for battle reports. No pressure at all. Just listening means a lot to us. If you're interested, the link's in the description. But we're still going to put out all our episodes and our battle reports. We just appreciate everyone watching along and commenting along. So tonight we're going to talk about the tournament. I think I'm going to take a bit of time at the beginning, going through organizing it and kind of the TO side of it. And then you guys will both run through your games at the end. And then you'll both go through your games. At the end, we'll do a little recap of overall what we noticed at the tournament.
Oh, first off,
But
I think we missed giving a shout out to the 100 subscribers that we've gotten.
That's true.
yeah,
We've reached 111 subscribers at this point now.
An
I think.
actual milestone.
Yeah, triple digits, man.
Trips.
We're all
Thank
the
you
way
to
up
those
there.
100 people.
We appreciate all of you.
And we can kind of blame the battle report for that, right?
Yeah. Hopefully we're going to get another one out sooner than later.
Hopefully people listen to the podcast episodes too, but the battle report is definitely
Yeah.
It's killing it.
much better than
People like the battle report.
That's so much better than any of these.
It is a lot more work than sitting around chatting, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So speaking of YouTube, go subscribe YouTube, follow our Instagram to see all our shame point avoidance photos. I'm posting up a bunch of photos from I have some scheduled throughout the week of event photos from Into the Wild. Listed on Spotify. Andrew, 30 seconds. Can you plug your tournament for 2 weeks from now?
January 24th, Scattered on the Mountain. Escalation event, 2 games of 50 points, 2 games at 150 points, 2 games at 300 points, no named heroes. You build on your list each time, 2x2 boards, some scaled down scenarios, fun, quick games. It's at a board game cafe. You can buy a pint, have some food while you're there. January 24th, come out. Have a good time.
And you know what?
In Hamilton.
As of today, just wrote it on the calendar, so I'm locked in. I'm going to be there.
Locked in.
Locked in. Wish
That's
Zach would
crazy.
say something like that, but he can't.
No.
Shout out to Josh Heron for lending me some tables and train for that.
Nice.
Thank you, Josh.
Also, there's
How many people
another.
can you fit
Oh.
there?
Because I'm doing 2x2 boards, I can easily fit 20, and we could squeeze in more than that. But I'm going to soft cap it at 20 unless I get 25 or 30 people asking to show up.
Yeah, you'll wait to see if that 21st person is someone you like or not, eh?
if it's Zach, I'm shutting it down.
Snip. But what other tournaments we got coming up too? There's James Marth's got one going on, the Legion
February
in
7th.
February.
February
Yeah,
7th.
Andrew locked in for that one.
Yeah,
I'm a maybe. I went from a no to a maybe.
So
February
Legion,
7th
big
in
selling point.
Ulmer at the Legion. Yeah, at the Legion. And then March 18th, I believe, is Mike Schalk is hosting.
no, March 7th.
March 7th even. Mike Schalk is hosting what are the scenario pool called?
only
Yeah,
the killing
It's all the
ones.
killing scenarios.
Only killing scenarios and no models with more than a 50 mil base size. So basically no
Yeah.
monsters, right?
I hope if it's doing no big bases, I hope he just loads the board with terrain. Because it would be sad to show up to that only killing scenarios and come up against a Ranges of Mirkwood list that just minces you.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
for
should
sure.
probably be a good amount of terrain.
I hope that it's just super clogged and
You didn't
you don't
even
have to
think
worry
of
about
that.
Iron Hills Chariots or Dragons or anything like that to be able to fit on the board.
Good call. There's some
Grandiose
valuable feedback,
Halls,
perhaps.
Garrison of Athelion would probably be nasty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A little Florian list with 12 bow, 10. I think he's doing 550 points. So yeah, probably get 10, 12 bows in there.
Anything with
Blinding
combos.
light to protect yourself from other archery. Dale.
Yeah,
That could
we'll
be
see.
gross.
I don't know. I just had the thought. Otherwise, yeah, you guys ready to get into this?
I was born
Let's
ready.
get at her.
All right, so I'm going to take over the first section, and then you guys can talk about your games. But this was the tournament. I was basically, when I booked this tournament, I hadn't ran one since August. There was a big gap over Christmas, and I was like, it would be nice to start the new year with a big tournament, get everybody back into the hobby. We're also trying to do our 100-point events evenly spaced throughout the year and kind of different points levels. So I decided to take January on with 500 points and just kind of a regular day. All the scenarios are available. It's the adjacent pairings, all the normal stuff for our events. But and then the goal was to get to 30 people. I had to get over 20 to make it a 100-point event, but the goal was to get to 30 because Josh Heron had just ran one close by that got to 30. And then otherwise, the only, we blew past that. We got to 40, which was an insane level to be at. And then it all became where can I even find terrain? We had a ton of people from the community bring terrain, a lot of the veterans and stuff. And then I had to get table toppers, which I ended up buying 8 sheets of plywood and cut them in half. Trying to get a bunch of just sturdy playing surfaces. And bringing tables and stuff, but it was really cool. The venue is one that I use all the time. My dad works in the building, so we get to use it for free, which means that I can do cool stuff first place got the Andril sword. We had a random raffle for Legolas swords. I had prizes for everybody. We had 3 Hunters box set from GW for whoever did the side quest, the Find the Fellowship side quest. So it was a really cool. I hit like all the goals of what I wanted to do. But before I really get into the everything, I should shout out everybody who brought terrain. Josh Heron brought a ton. I mean, Steve Stokes, Derek Sadnick, James Marth. I'm gonna forget people. Justin Bertrand, Sam, and Ben all brought terrain. Paul from the US brought terrain. We had that's his name now, I think.
That's his name now.
But we had a ton of people. I had too much terrain, which was like a great problem to have. And so thank you to everybody for bringing that out. Everybody brought prize support. It was mainly Josh. He printed up like a bunch of some terrain, but a bunch of models for me and stuff. So that was pretty awesome. And then Jess and she like designed all the I did like trophies and like a picture frame certificate for everybody. Like the first, second, third in my hobby awards and stuff. So she designed all the certificates for me and printed them out and stuff like that. And then big shout out because everybody who came, I had 3 neighbors there that were from in town. And I had a couple that were within like the half hour, 45-minute range. But otherwise, I think everybody traveled basically an hour, hour and a half at the least. I mean, we had Detroit, Buffalo, and Ottawa. Like that's a stretch, man. That's a lot of people traveling. So that was really cool to see.
Huge turnout.
Yeah, 40 people. I didn't look back to see when the last 40-person tournament we had, but I think we had looked and we didn't have one last season. We got up to 38 last season. So it was cool to see back in October. And since then, we've had like steady, like ridiculously solid numbers, which is cool to see.
GTL's back.
We're back.
Feels like it. We'll see. I hope it continues on.
We got tons of events lined up, so
yeah, it feels good.
I will say a quick side note behind the scenes here. I was helping Will put those awards together in these picture frames.
You're not taking credit for 5 minutes of work, man.
I'm not taking any credit. It's just a funny story.
If we're gonna talk about behind the scenes, I also help put
just
tables
interrupt them.
on tables.
Just interrupt them. Nice.
Yeah, talk right over me.
No one wants to hear you, Andrew.
Andrew, what do you say?
Your awards came in picture frames. It looked really nice, and Jess did a good job designing them. But the picture frames were kind of finicky because the back you had to like pry up these little metal pieces, and they were like flat, like totally flush to the cardboard at the back. And so Will got me a screwdriver to flip them up, which was kind. Thanks, Will. But one time I was being an idiot and I dug my thumb underneath and lifted up, and then it like dug right in under my thumb nail, and it still hurts. So whoever got that, just know I poured my blood and tears, not sweat, into your award. So enjoy that. I don't remember which one it is.
We found a way to go from me talking about running a tournament, to bring it back to Andrew talking about himself.
Dude, everyone knows Zach and I ran this.
So mistake number 1 that I made. We put all those awards together, and then the plan was I hand out all the awards, and then I was going to get Jess to I'll take them all back, and Jess can write the names on them because they obviously don't have names on them. Totally forgot to get them back. So everybody just has blank awards. So everybody who got an award, take it out, write your own name on it, and then put it back in.
And don't hurt your thumb doing it. I didn't push them down all the way, so you should be able to lift them up much easier than I had time. See, that was a segue, Will, to help you remember that you forgot to write that without me bringing it up, because I was going to bring it up, but I thought I should.
Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, I remember right off the top of my head. At the end, I forgot to thank terrain bringers in person. I forgot to talk about future events, and I forgot to bring my raffle list. So I had to ditch in the middle of the awards ceremony to go grab that. So yeah, the last 10-15 minutes was a rough time for the day. But anyways, I have, I think, 4 sections that I wanted to talk about. And I'll try to blow through it really quick so we can get to the games. But prizes and awards, I did 3D printed trophies, just like busts of Gandalf for first, second, third, painted them different. My neighbor Mac actually painted them different for me. We did the paper awards, and then we had a couple unique ones like the side quest, Find the Fellowship. And we also had just a random raffle for the Legless knives, but prizes and awards turned out how I was hoping they would. I thought it was a really good prize table, so hopefully everybody got something that they wanted. The second section is the food. And kind of the flow of the day. I ended up usually we did dice down in the past. I went to, they were 1.5 hour rounds. I went to play your 1.5 hour and then finish the turn you're on, which was good and a little stressful. It felt nice because a lot of people were finishing their games, obviously, but the ones that didn't at least finished out that turn, did the important rules or whatever, and kind of, it feels better than just somebody slow playing to get dice down. And so I thought it went well. There was a couple games, like we had a 15-minute break, and then their game went 10 minutes into the break. And then it was like, I felt bad. They didn't have much time to do stuff, but it was also like, you got to just do the important things and understand that you don't need to finish the whole turn sometimes, but I get it. So yeah, then lunch, we had an hour. We started a little late. It was supposed to be 1:15. We had an hour. I thought it was enough time. And then all the food, we had like the right amount of food. I got like Gatorade water. We had coffee, tea, hot chocolate there, chips and bananas and apples and granola bars and muffins, I think was all of it. And by the end of it, I had a couple granola bars, a couple bags of chips left, and some water bottles that I sent with, I sent it in the van going back to Kitchener. So
Nice.
it was nice to see that I think people enjoyed kind of like having the free snacks there that they could pick up and stuff. So
I do have to say the water and the Powerade are some of the best things
Yeah.
in my experience, because one of the most important
Yeah.
things at these events are staying hydrated and trying to find ways to stay hydrated. And those are good ways to keep hydrated
yeah,
without saying it too
yeah,
many
Yeah.
times.
100%.
I
And
usually,
I always forget to stay hydrated. Like whenever I'm playing games, I never think to like bring a water bottle or anything. So I'm always like dying by lunch.
yeah, I
whatever,
always end up
so.
with like a headache at the end of tournaments because I never drink any water all day.
Yeah.
Like you get up early, I don't eat in the morning, and then like at lunch, it's like maybe have a bottle of water that you forget to drink half of because you're like back in the game, and then 4 hours later you're driving home and you get home, you're like, oh, I'm exhausted, and now I'm also dehydrated. I got a headache.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had no headache after because I had a nice bottle of water. Zach and I had some refreshments at lunch, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
good.
Nice. Yeah, so the food is a big thing that I like to do, and I think it went well. The last couple things is kind of the day of experience. Like the round timing was good. I didn't have any like hiccups. I was expecting some was my first time using Tabletop Admiral. I was expecting something to go wrong. Somebody couldn't sign in or somebody couldn't log their games, but we didn't have any issues like that. The only one we had was sometimes like both players have to report their scores. Sometimes I think it was when they were doing it at the same time, maybe only one would go through. The other person would have to like refresh their page and then hit submit again. But they didn't know because they thought they hit the submit button. So I'd have to find them and ask them to refresh and do it. But other than that, like it went the day TO wise went super, super smooth. Like the amount of issues with TTA was almost nothing. The amount of rules queries were nothing more than usual. There wasn't any like big explosive heated arguments. Everything was kind of pretty tame. Yeah, outside of that, like the only thing I really want to say is like having used Longshanks a lot in the past in one tournament with Tabletop Admiral, like I thought it would be better, and like it's just 110% better. Like I don't see a world where I ever go back to use Longshanks. Even just like the list submission and stuff, being able to check everybody's lists with just like a click of a button on each one. Like when I do Longshanks, I'm inputting them all into Tabletop Admiral to double check points values because they just have it written out, right? So it was nice to kind of it just took a bunch of my work off. Like all my Fellowship Finder points were tracked for me, so I just at the end of the day looked at who had the highest number. All of the additional TPs I awarded at the beginning of the day, I just marked off who did it. And then at the end of the day, I hit a button and it added it all into the standings. Like all the pairings and stuff were done for me. Like it was such a super simple day. I would just say if anybody's thinking about running a tournament, think about TTA because I had a really good experience. I know, Andrew, you're using it next week or 2 weeks from now. So I'll be curious what you think of it as well. All the player feedback I had about it was outstanding. I mean, Derek messaged me tonight saying he's running he's doing a test event on there right now because he thought it was really cool, and he's thinking about using it for council. Yeah, it's something I'll use again in the future for sure. But yeah, that's kind of the TO perspective. I'm gonna try to get like a little survey put together. I'll send out to people to kind of see if there was anywhere they thought it could be improved on. I think next time Jess and I were talking about it, maybe trying to like provide a lunch. She wants to do like slow cooker, like walking tacos or something like that. So we'll see if we can do something like that. It'd be cool to have like an hour break where nobody actually has to leave the building, where like, if all 40 people get to stay and just chat and hang out, like,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to do that after the tournament when we went to dinner, but something like that might be a cool way to do it too. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've missed a bunch of stuff that I should be talking about, but I do want to get ahead and go into your guys' games, and we'll talk about the tourney a bit after. But before we get to your guys' games, was there anything glaring about the tournament that you thought, well, let's do it all, could have been better, was better than you thought it would be? Was there any highs or lows that you noticed, or was it just like kind of a nice, easy, well-run tournament?
I'm trying to think of negatives and I can't think of one. And I was trying to think of like things to improve on even earlier today, and I couldn't think of anything. I'm really struggling. The day just went really well. Like,
yeah,
there was just no issue. It was so nice. From like a purely like logistical standpoint, or like from like a gaming standpoint.
mm-hmm.
Better than expected. Having 40 people is way better than I thought it would be. That was fun.
I was really jazzed. Like I'm still buzzing today from a man. Like,
yeah,
a 40-person tournament. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
And
in Lindsay of all places, like,
yeah, I know,
north of 7, like,
crazy,
that's wild.
Crazy. Everyone came out. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and having a good time,
100%.
making us all have a fun Saturday. The food was better than I mean, I already knew it was gonna be good, but just having like, you made muffins in the morning and bringing like fruit, like I had a banana, like at like 11, and I was like, this is like what I want to be eating. I don't want to be eating pizza at 11. I want to be eating a banana and like a muffin, not like a pop and pizza. And like I had a granola bar. I was like, oh, and I felt like so much better than just like going out and eating garbage. I mean, I did that later in the day, but to start the day off, it was really nice. I had a water and a banana and a muffin. That was really, really good. So thanks for doing all that, Will.
No, and I'm not trying to like pump myself up here. I just realized sounds like I am, but the tournament, this is the 4th one I've ran in like a year span, and it just felt like everything ramped up to this one, and it felt so good to get this one off. Like the 40 people, like everything running smoothly. Like, oh man, it was a dream of a tournament for me.
I think the more you're running, the better they are. Like, you're getting more people every time. You're getting more efficient at running them. The timing, figuring out like your groove of what you want, building upon what was successful previously, using that, doing more going forwards.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like to say, community-wise, the variety in lists we saw was phenomenal.
Dude,
very few doubled up lists.
One of the things I really realized with this tournament is we're not a competitive league. We have some competitive players in it, but like for it to be 100-point event, and we don't have stuff like Ugluk Scouts showing up at all, right? Like the 3 most popular lists were Usurpers, which is a really good list.
Yeah.
We had Lothlorien, which is also fairly good. We know that they do well, and then a Birders Horde, which I think this is a great points level for them. But none of them are like. We had 1 Balrog. We didn't have Ugluk Scouts. We didn't have like. I guess Armies of White Hand doesn't function that well at 500. We only had 1 Eagles player. Like it felt cool to have 40 people in 30 lists. Like you saw stuff like an Iron Hills Chariot we never see. We made you play the Shire. We never see the Shire at a tournament. Like we get to see cool stuff like this. We saw Cirith Ungol. You know, like Sons of Earl, like Fields of Celebrant. Like there were some really cool lists. Thorns Company, like we could talk about. We could name all 30 of them, right? Ravagers of the Shire, yeah, like
Golthumble.
It was really cool. We're not uncompetitive, but it definitely. I never believed people before when they were like, oh yeah, there's 2 halves to this league. There's the competitive half, and then there's all the like narrative or like hobby half. And I was like, I don't think there's that much of a hobby half. But then after today, it's like, oh man, there definitely is. If we're getting like people just bringing whatever they actually want to play, you know what I mean?
It's amazing what happens when we require people to paint their armies, or pretty much require them to paint and base their armies to play at an event.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take a guess at how many armies were not fully painted and based? So every army had at least some paint or basing done, but how many were missing either a couple bases or anything like that?
I'm gonna go 4.
You're going with 4?
Yeah.
Damn, I was gonna go with 3.
I originally thought 5, but I was like, you know what? I think going down to 4.
I want to go double check myself because I think I know the answer, but I don't actually. I'm not 100%. I believe there was 5, and for us to only have 5, and I was really picky. So there were some armies that were fully painted and almost fully based. They had a couple bases that didn't have anything on them. They didn't get the point, right? So I want to say there was only 1 army. There was a Lost Alliance army that wasn't fully painted, and a Lothlorien army that had like 2 or 3 models that were unpainted. But otherwise, every army was painted. And then I found a couple people that just had a couple like bases that were missing. So it was definitely like up there. The hobby standard was up there. I didn't count, but I think we had about 15-ish display boards, if I had to guess.
Quite a few. They were all pretty good too.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, right? Like,
yeah,
like really, really cool. So yeah, I just double checked, and yeah, we were at 5 people that didn't get full points, but again, everybody except for 2 was fully painted, so really good to see on the table. But yeah, otherwise we're going to talk about the tournament again a bit more after you guys, but let's get into your games, and let's start with what list you guys were playing. Andrew, you want to tell us what list you played?
Not really. I played, obviously, the army I'm most known for, Depths of Moria.
Admits it.
But I didn't play Balrog. I played 65 goblins, 5 captains, 60 goblins, 500 points.
And I'll stop you right there because we don't need to discuss it anymore.
Nope, that's it.
Zach, we made you play a list. What list did we make you play?
First off, I also want to shout out Josh Aaron and Chris Weens for the amazingly painted army. Josh supplied all the hobbits and Gandalf on cart with an amazing display board. And Chris supplied all the other heroes in my list. And it looked really great. Their bases actually worked together exceedingly well. Somehow, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. You're going to base hobbits a certain way. But it looked awesome. It was a lot of fun to play with. But 41 models, Gandalf on cart with Lobelia, Rosie, 14 militia, Then it was Farmer Maggot with Fang Wolf, obviously, and 2 militia. And Paladin took with 11 Tookish Hunters. And the Gaffer with 5 militia, I believe, is the final count. I think it's like 41 models.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
a lot of rules. A lot of rules.
That was your punishment.
That was the
Reading
punishment, reading the
rules.
rules. A lot of fun to play.
We'll go right into round one. And Zach, you could just talk about your round one game. We had To the Death drawn. This was not veto. It was everyone was playing the same scenario. So we had To the Death. We had your Shire against Robert Anderson with a 42 model Usurpers of Edoras.
Yeah.
How did that one go?
So I was very thankful to be playing Robert, the Balrog Slayer, for just because, never played this list. A lot of stuff going on. It was nice to have a guy that you knew, and it's like, okay, I feel bad that I'm gonna have to put you through this, but it's better than doing it to a complete stranger. It was a slow game. Probably in the end, it was beneficial for me that it took so long to get anything done.
Well, slow play
But-
action.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
say you guys were the slowest table out of all 20 tables.
I finished my game and I walked over to yours and it looked like nothing had happened.
I'm going to say a lot of people had finished their games and were checking in on the Shire. They were all kind of like, ooh, you guys haven't really done a whole lot. A lot of models to push around, but at the same time, a lot of rules. There was a lot of backing up. Like, he did the right thing to begin with. His bows outshot mine. So he spent the first 2 turns like shuffling backwards, getting more shots on me. And the first turn, I was like, terrifying Aura with Gandalf. That's a clever thing to do against usurpers. And then I lost like 5 archers or something. And I was like, oh, it's not really good to lose half of my shooting immediately. So then I remember Gandalf got blinding light. Perfect. I was like,
you forgot that.
well, I didn't really forget it. I should have done it the first turn. I should have forgot about terrifying Aura. I should have just been blinding light the entire time. And it worked out. He stopped killing my guys. And eventually we just kind of charged at each other. In the meantime, I was using Gripfang and Wolf to do the Fellowship mission run board edge to board edge, because they're the only models besides Gandalf on cart to move 8 inches. Anything else than 4 inches, which would have never happened with this list. So early on, I thought, you know what, I'm going to get after this Fellowship mission and see what I can do. And then basically, we kind of just pushed our lines together. My militia, his usurpers. He ended up killing the Gaffer, poor Gaffer. And he had Wolf sling around from behind and charge a Hobbit, which was right beside Lobelia, who immediately scolded him for that move. And I surrounded him and just kind of started beating up on Wolf, which was nice for me. Wolf did survive by the end of the game. I didn't actually end up getting killed. He had 1 wound left, no fate. Couple turns of being able to shut him down, like Lobelia comboing in with like Gandalf transfixing or whatever. Really good. Also, I ganged up on a thing of Crebain, which was awesome. Beside a flower pot, getting that reroll failed wounds. And that took 2 turns to kill a Crebain. That was pretty awesome. And at the end of the game, we went to time, obviously. And we finished our last turn. We started going through the scoring, and it was like, okay, neither of us broke. Neither of us killed each other's leader or wounded each other's leader. I tried early on. I was trying to get the Freka. I had a couple shots at him. He kind of left him in the open. Didn't get anything to convert, unfortunately. So I was like, I'm going to lose because the gaffer died. That's going to give him points. But into the death, you get victory points for banners and the opponent not having any banners left. Robert didn't have any banners left. So that's an automatic 2 points for me. And Rosie counts as a banner for purposes of victory points. So I won game 1 4-1 somehow. I'm sure if that game kept going on to a natural conclusion, I don't think I win it. But at the same time, another turn, I probably kill Wolf. And then it's just hoping the hobbits can outlast and maybe get to Freka. But fight 1 sucks. I'll put that out there too. Fight 1 is garbage.
Fight 2 is not much better, man.
No. But when you're facing fight 2, it's like astronomically better. But yeah, so I won the first game 4-1, and I completed 4 fellowship missions. My leader survived with all wounds and fate remaining in 1 game. And then I had keep 2 heroes within 6 inches of each other for an entire game. That one's really easy to do when you have a lot of different heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And I also got the board edge one. Oh wait, no, I only got 3 done in the first game. I only had 4 done all day. Spoiler alert. But yeah, game 1. 4-1. Close game. Probably should have lost it, really. It was rough.
That explanation almost took as long as your actual game.
You're welcome. Shout out to Robert, great opponent. I hope he had as much fun in the game as I did. It was enjoyable getting through.
I doubt that for some reason.
Anybody who plays the Shire, it's just gotta be fun. Seeing all the hobbits on the table. And the army looked amazing too.
Yeah.
So Andrew, round 1 to the death. You have a 65 model list and you draw a 6 model list.
Yep.
Easy dub. Who'd you play?
I played Mr. Chris Weens, who took Dane, 2 Iron Hill Warriors, and then a 3rd one with a banner, a Goat Rider, and an Iron Hills Chariot. Not an easy dub.
Captain Chariot.
The Chariot looked awesome. That was probably one of the... Actually, I drew, spoilers, 2 lists that I did not want to play. I drew half of my games were lists I didn't want to play. And there's only maybe 4 of them. The first
Jesus
one...
already.
Yeah. The first... Oh, you're going to hate. You're going to hate what I have to say.
You're not talking about dice. That's a reminder of our rule. We do not blame dice.
Oh, I'm not going to blame anything.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got to think about what I got to say now. No, the chair was really cool. The chair was really cool. Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, my heroes were 5 goblin captains. Right? I had very little agency beyond marching. We were sort of split in 2 flanks. On one flank there was Dane and the troops, and on the other flank there was the chariot versus most of my army. The chariot ran over a lot of goblins. It must have been like 15 or 20 goblins it ran over. And he was moving it and like pivoting to like get more goblins and hit more guys. And I was like, this is disgusting. Because it's 2 strength 6 hits on D5. So you need 4s or 3s on the spears, something like that. And it's just like, there was a few times where he didn't end up killing every goblin and it stopped him. But I spent a lot of might heroic moving, just so that he couldn't charge and plow over more goblins. It does have Master Battle 5 up, which you only got 1 time, luckily. But that thing spent most of the game surrounded by goblins. It can shoot while it's in combat, so he was like picking off spear supports and stuff like that.
So awesome.
It was cool. It was. I'm glad that I didn't really care and I just was having a fun time because it was an extremely fun game. Probably one of the most fun games I've ever played. Just to be like throwing goblins at this thing and it's just like, it feels like you're playing a game of 40k where you have this like thing that's worth way too many points. It was super fun. But yeah, I had a lot of my day was spent not rolling dice. I just was like, all right, you got a 6 for me? And they would roll it. And I just wouldn't even pick up dice. I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to count how many models I got in because there's no point. There's a lot of that. I had 2 chances to win the chariot ever in our, I don't know how many turns it was, 10 turns, 12 turns. And I did 0 wounds to it. Even with like buckets of dice, just like 6x5s, I think on the chariot, and I didn't get anything. The other side of the board, I killed all the I can kill troops fine. Killing the Iron Hill Dwarves, when they don't roll a 6 and they've got, tons of goblins on them, you get 1 wound through and they die. Dane was another story. There was a few turns where I had perfectly surrounded him. So that's 6 models that's perfectly surrounded and then 6 spear supports. So I had 12 dice. Quite a few turns, and then he would roll a 6. Or the turns where he didn't, I was just like rolling 24 dice, and I think I got 1 wound through on 1 turn. I only had 2 chances to wound him too. And one of the most, I think it was 24 dice, I got 1 wound through. And the other one was less than 24 dice, and I got 0 wounds through. So yeah, I only had 4 chances to wound the chariot and Dane total. But I did get a hero wound. That game obviously ended up as a loss. I think I got tabled or close to her. We played, I think we just called it when you said finish the turn. We're like, there's nothing going on here. We'll just call it. I did get a goblin to walk across the back of the map. And thank you to Chris. He got his goat chariot coming down from his direction, perpendicular to mine. I went across. And there was a turn where he could have charged it and murdered it. And I said, can we have a gentleman's agreement here? And he's like, yeah. And he ran away. It's like, yeah, all right, cool. And I kept my word. I kept the goblin on the board edge, and he eventually fled to courage. I didn't move him. That was my game. It was super fun. It was frustrating rolling so many dice and not getting any wounds, like 0 on the chariot. It's not like I was going to ever kill it, but it would have been nice to do a few wounds. But yeah, it was fun. Good game.
Yeah. It's a cool list. It was really cool to see play because the model he had all the heroes converted onto it, like from the movie. But man, it looks so cool, man. So cool.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
How many times did he roll 6s on how many shots he got?
Oh, not that many, but it was a lot of 5s. He rolled 5 a lot of times, but he also rolled 1 a lot of times.
Yeah.
I remember making a comment being like, you either roll 1 or 5 on your number of shots. And he's like, yeah, I do. I would say his shooting was average. He got an average number. Sometimes he would miss everything or roll a 1. Sometimes he would plow down like 5 goblins.
Yeah.
4 or 5 goblins. And yeah, strength 4 too. So he's like picking off spear sports on 4s.
Yeah, so awesome.
It was brutal. I lost. Yeah, he broke me that game. He killed almost all my army.
That's a lot of models to kill.
Yeah, he did it.
Let's go to round 2. We have Fog of War as the scenario. Zach, you won game 1, and then who did you draw round 2?
I drew Owen Jonker, who brought the Balrog.
Nice.
No offense to him, but I have a newfound hatred for the Balrog, especially as a Hobbit army. Not a whole lot I could do against it. But again, fortunately, it was a scenario where there is a chance. My target to kill has to be his target to defend, his goblin captain. And my choice of who to protect and who he has to kill is tons of options. Like lots of options out here. And thankfully I got Maggot's dogs to be able to scoot around and try and get a terrain piece. So I was like, there's a chance. There's a chance I can do this. And I was pouring shots onto his goblin as he was advancing with his warband up the one board edge, which was lined up right with my archers. Perfect. I kind of was pushing up my other warband the other side to meet his other goblin warband while the Balrog just dove right at my archers. And then trying to chase Gandalf down. Because really the only threat to him is Gandalf on his cart.
Mhm.
Especially the firework giving him -1 to his duel roll. Very useful, especially when you don't have might.
Yeah.
But I also could not risk losing him, so he kept pushing Gandalf further and further away, and then eventually it was like, he ran his Goblin Captain backwards away from me, which was probably smart. And I was like, well, I gotta chase him down with Gandalf. So I kind of engaged his battle line. I won a fight, and then I learned that the Balrog, I mean, I've never actually had to interact with Hurl yet this edition. Throwing a guy and knocking Gandalf off his cart like it's nothing. Nothing I can do about it. He just gone. All my army special rule, gone. Gandalf's mobility, gone. Threat level on my army decreases immensely. And then
Hurl's
I'm
still a good
basically,
skill.
oh, it's so good. And like he played it so well.
It's
He
so
made the
good.
right decision trying to get rid of Gandalf because
Mhm.
once Gandalf's gone, there's nothing I can do against the Balrog.
I was thinking about it, and the Balrog's hurl distance is so far when he's hurling his
Yeah.
strength 2 Hobbit.
Yeah.
Like he's already
Oh.
at like 8 inches plus he could like.
Also, the guy
So
he
funny.
hurled survived,
Wow.
which was funny. He also was
Yeah.
very useful to help tie up the guys that were left out of that Goblin Warband to help Gandalf try and chase down his captain, who he had lying prone behind a fence, so I couldn't get line of sight on him. It was like too many turns just trying to chase this guy down. And like the last turns of the game, I was able to get in combat. I won the fight, I think, and then I whiffed it. I had whiffed my chance, but I had no might left because I'd used all my might to get there and do other things earlier. So that was a bummer. But at the same time, my dogs were on my terrain piece immediately. All my heroes everything was dying. My guy was protecting was Paladin, and he was like right behind my archers, and I was like, oh man, he's gonna like, well, he whipped Rosie turn 1 from the back line.
Smart.
It was just like, bam, you're dead. Which sucks. And I was like, Paladin's cooked. Like, how do I make it seem like he's not the guy I want to protect? Hopefully he's not the target that he's trying to kill. And then he just ran the other way with the Balrog. And I was like, holy smokes. Like, I just dodged a bullet. So then I immediately run Paladin away. I was like, you gotta hide so he doesn't try to come back and get you. But by the end of the game, I was broken. He, I think, would have technically have been broken if the army didn't have such a stupid rule. Harbinger board wide. I had 2 of my 3 dogs flee. I was so fortunate.
Oh. You lost. Yeah, that loses you points though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the dog. No, then all my other heroes were dead. I was like, it was some mayhem. It was brutal.
I'm curious. What hero did he pick? Was it Rosie that he picked and whipped her?
No,
turn
he chose
1?
Farmer Megan, who was not actually
who
killed by the
actually-
Balrog.
He made it far, like a long ways into the game. I saw him die when he
Yeah.
was trapped by goblins, but
Yeah, and he was chopping goblins up too for the first few combats. I was like, man, this guy's a beast. And then he died. But that should be expected with hobbits. The fate rule is really good, giving them 3+ fate. I think most of the heroes have 2 fate, but again, they also mostly have 1 or 2 wounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
His choice of hero was very strange going with Maggot, because he chose a hero with 2 wounds, 2 fate, and has like a little bit of combat prowess.
It also makes sense though. He's the one hero you're not going to be able to just tuck
Hide
inside
away.
a building and hide for. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna bring him out because
Yeah.
he's what your second hardest hitter in that list.
Well, yeah. What I should have
So-
done, thinking about it after, instead of like my original thought was I'll protect Paladin because I can keep him behind my line. But I should have just picked Lobelia and tucked her inside a building because there was nothing she was going to do that game. She can't scold
Yeah,
the
she was
Balrog,
useless. Yeah.
so but she's going to scold the captain that was never anywhere near her. I should have just kept her in a building, tucked away. That would have been the smart decision. But thankfully, Paladin worked out.
Yeah.
So it was
That's cool.
a 16-10 loss.
At least you got some VPs up on the board.
Yeah.
Getting 10 VPs on a loss is something you can only do in Fog of War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keeping
probably, yeah.
keeping it somewhat close, but great tough game. He played it really well. It was like just charging me right immediately with the Balrog. I thought I might have had a couple turns of being able to maybe shoot at his Goblin Warband, and it was like, no, he's on me. And, you guys know, it's tough. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
losing Gandalf's cart was
It's heartbreaking.
destroying of my list. It was like morale gone. It's like, now I got to try and figure something out, but I'm okay with the loss. It worked. Like, I scored points. It wasn't like a complete and utter failure. Take what I can get.
That's fair. Fog of War round 2, Andrew. I believe you drew an army that you own.
I do. I was thinking of playing Kirthungel against Reed Portelli. That was a fun game. It was nice seeing Kirthungel out. Unfortunately, he lost
Mhm.
one of his bonuses because I was playing goblins. Yeah, he just had standard Kirthungel, Shagrat, Gorbag, Shelob, Orcs, and Uruk-hai. I deployed my forces kind of lopsided towards the side of the terrain piece I wanted. And I left the other side of the board that I didn't care about, just with one warband on it. And as we were moving up, I quickly realized that one warband's captain was the captain he wanted to kill. And they were kind of caught out of position. And they got ganked by a bunch of orcs, some Uruk-hai, and Shelob. So there was no escaping that. Shelob eventually barged and pushed her way through that the orcs and got to my captain. Captain did survive one round, but second combat he was dead.
Yeah.
So he killed the hero he had to kill. So that was 5 points for him. I, spoiler, did not kill the hero I had to kill, which was either Shelob or Gorbag, and I picked Gorbag, and I didn't kill Gorbag. I had a couple chances to get wounds on him, but he's a fight 5 orc with 3 attacks when he's outnumbered against goblins. It's not really
He's
going to happen.
scrappy.
He's scrappy. That all happened on one side of the board. On the other side of the board, I had too many goblins. If I had one more warband on that other side, it would have been a way bigger win. But I put on the other side, I had my terrain piece handily with models to spare. I was running models off my terrain piece because I had too many on it, back towards the battle line with Shagrat. My captains mostly picked on orcs that they could tie fights with and avoided Uruk-hai, and I would just throw in goblins. There was the first 1 or 2 turns, his dice were kind of hot, and he was just like smoking goblins left and right with everyone. And then by the 3rd turn, he had killed enough goblins that like my lines were able to open up, and I just like wrapped all the way around. And he's like, "Oh my goodness!" Like it didn't matter how much I killed. Like I just enveloped his battle line. Shagrat was doing Shagrat things. He was coming out. He was killing goblins. There's a couple turns where I was able to sort of trap him behind his lines, where like I got priority and charged goblins in, and he couldn't reposition to get Shagrat out, so he missed a couple turns of combats, which was really good for me. But then Shagrat hero combated, killed a goblin, tried to push forward to push his battle line forward, and then the next turn I won priority, and I surrounded Shagrat with 4 goblins, and Shagrat rolled 3 1s, and then Banner re-rolled into a 4th 1. And my goblins killed him that turn. I did 6 wounds. That was brutal. That was really brutal. I gave him the foolish award for that, Fool of a Took for that, because that was foolish. Not that it was his fault, but his model is something foolish. Rolling 4 1s against goblins. And that was huge because
How
that
do you
got
re-roll into another 1? Like, that's just
4
what are the
dice.
odds?
Bad. Really bad. 4 dice, 1 high. And he was out of might at that point. The one thing about this list is that anytime you think your opponent wants to, they get priority and they keep it, and you think that it's going to be good, like they're like, oh, they're going to want a heroic move here. You just call one, even if you don't care, because it's going to make them spend a might. And I had 10 might in the list that I didn't really care about. Like a lot of times my captains were dying with might because I didn't need to march. It doesn't do anything, right? Because even if they get a 6, it doesn't matter because they're getting outfought by everything. So you just like call heroic moves and marches like crazy wherever you want. Not that I'm going to play this list again. It was fun one time. So Shaggar's out of might, and he just took 6 wounds and died. Yeah, so I killed his general. My general was safe. I got my terrain piece. And I didn't kill my target. He kept his target alive, which was, I forget what he picked. But anyway, they're both alive, unharmed, Shagrat or Shelob, or Gorbag or Shelob. He had his terrain piece, but I got to keep 1 goblin on it. So I knocked him down a few points from that. And anyway, the game ended up 15-13 victory for me. So speaking of big wins, he got a 13-point loss. And I would have lost. Like there was a lot of turns where I was losing, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to win this. I can't reposition these goblins fast enough. I probably, in hindsight, should have taken a captain and marched over that turn. But I killed Shagrat, which got me 2 points, and then 1 goblin luckily stayed alive in his terrain piece to knock him down from 5 to 3 or something like that, or whatever. And that was enough to squeeze out a win. But if I had deployed more balanced, like if I had 12 more goblins and a captain on the other side of the board with Shelob, the game would have probably been, I probably would have killed Gorbag. Shelob's only have 1 attack, 2 on the charge. She can't get through enough goblins. And I probably would have figured out what captain you want to keep alive and keep that away. So yeah, next time deploy your warbands better. That was game 2. Good game.
Fair enough.
Good game, Reed. It was cool to see Kira Thungle. I like that list.
Yeah, we don't see it a ton. So yeah, then we went into the lunch break. You were both 1-1, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And then round 3, we drew Hold Ground as the scenario. And Zach, you want to walk us through your game 3 against, I think it was John Park with Birder's Horde, right?
Yep, Birder's Horde. Normally it would be like a pretty tough one. You'd think Birder would just pop out of our center objective was a building with the objective right on it. So I was really worried that come ambush turn, that's where he'd just show up and I'd be like, I'm done because I have no march. It's going to take me multiple turns to get there.
Mm.
And I was like, so he probably could just be there and then surround me and I would just get pushed out. I rolled my dice. I got actually really good. My first 3 warbands, I think, rolled 5s, and my 4th one rolled a 4. So I kind of had the northeast corner with my army. And I pushed in my 4-inch move. So nothing eventful there. He got his 1 warband in on the south, and then had a really bad roll on his 2nd where he ended up using both of his might to bump it up to put it on the south as well. And he rushed the middle. I kind of tried to get to the middle, and he popped Birder out behind me. And I mean, it still worked out because I ended up just getting bogged down in the fighting. It was working. It was working pretty well for me. I was actually doing a lot of killing and shutting. Like, I wasn't playing the objective though. That was the big problem. So I think by the end of it, like I had like a couple characters make it close to the middle, but they might have ended up dying too. There was stuff that was close. I ended up losing 12-2. Birder was transfixed for a lot of the game. Once again, Gandalf got knocked off his cart with a hurl. Hurling was working very good against Gandalf's cart. For anybody out there playing Gandalf on cart, watch out for the hurl. Also, D3 with 3 wounds, you'd think it would be pretty easy for people to attack it. Nobody else just attacked it normally to get rid of it. It's just the hurls.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the scenario. Don't forget about the scenario. Don't get bogged down in fights that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
One thing to note, you cannot modify the Maelstrom roll with might anymore.
Yes, you can, but you can only might it up. You can't might it down.
My bad.
So I was right when we were having that discussion.
You're not allowed to might down anymore. Yeah, the cool thing about the tournament was getting to walk around and see all the games being played and like get to see what everyone was doing. And that was one of the games I kind of questioned, like Birder popping up on the opposite side of your army away from the objective. I mean, it worked out, but still, I think he could have might have had a bigger win if he had just popped Birder on the center objective, because his 2 other warbands were there already. He would have had his whole army between you and the objective, like,
yeah,
and that's 12 points about automatically. So yeah, that was the interesting choice, but I mean, he still won. So
yeah. Also, Farmer Maggot really did really good again. He was chopping up orcs left, right, and center. I do like Farmer Maggot. Dogs are also awesome.
dogs are 8-inch move is gonna feel so good when you're moving 4.
Oh, I don't go anywhere fast. The moral of most of my games were it just the whole ground was always going to be a bad spot for me.
Yeah, it's a tough one. That's like, what is it? That's like 6 turns of walking to try to get to the center of the board.
Yeah, probably something like that. And then when I forget, like, not forget per se, but just stop playing the objective itself. That obviously doesn't help.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. It probably felt like you're going to lose that one going into it just because of the army list, the matchup in this scenario. Yeah. But
once again, I can't scold Birder.
Yeah.
So Lobelia is not doing much.
But Andrew, you played my neighbor Zach Stock in round 3 with the Kingdom of Khazad-dûm, Durin and Martin.
Yep.
I think 24-ish dwarves. How did your game go?
Yeah, well, I nearly tripled his model count.
Yeah.
So Maelstrom deployment, I had 2 he came on altogether. And then I had 2 warbands come on the opposite side, 1 warband from another side, and then I had 2 warbands pop up sort of behind him. There's only one he got to pick that came on a turn late, which actually was really good for me because I didn't care where it came on from. I was okay it coming on late to see where he moves. And he put it to come on right behind him. Which at first I was thinking like, oh, that's bad. He just turn around and kill me. Then I thought he doesn't have time to turn around and kill me. If he does, I'm kind of okay with it because it's going to give me loads of time to walk to the objective and sit in front of it with 65 models. Or I guess 65 minus 12, 13. So I had 2 warbands close to him. I marched with one. The other one, I just walked right up towards him. And I think he realized that he was going to get caught. And he turned around and started fighting me. And I just started slowly like picking away at Hearthguard. Like I lost a lot of goblins, but they're only 1 wound. Anytime I was luckily got a 6 to wound on the Hearthguard, like we were joking, and he killed a ton of goblins and I killed 3 Hearthguard. And I was like, I think I'm up on like points killed this turn, even though I've only killed 3 models and you've killed like 10. Yeah, he just didn't have enough models. Like it was just not enough models.
He does have dominant 2 in the army, but it's still
he never
with
made it
dominant
to
2.
the
He's only,
objective.
his total count was only going to be in the 40s, like 65 goblins on hold ground is.
Yeah, it's rough. It
Yeah.
didn't help that Durin rolled spectacularly awful. He failed a heroic combat, and then he had to spend 2 points of might to get another one off. Like call the combat and then up his dice to a 6 to win the fight. It was really, really bad, and he was just losing fights all over. He lost a fight to a single goblin, and the goblin got a wound. Like
On Durin?
Yeah, on Durin.
Yeah.
Just inexcusably bad dice on for someone who has 4 dice on the model, 3 in a reroll.
Yeah.
From Durin's axe. It's just so bad. There was turns where he was getting hot dice and he was rolling 6s and killing goblins, but like it didn't
Doesn't matter when you.
It didn't matter. I could have played with 1 less warband and it still wouldn't have mattered. He just didn't have the numbers and the number of attacks. If he had some Iron Guard or something sprinkled in, maybe he could take out 2 a turn or something, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of the strength of your list, this scenario, right? Like just an objective and swarm it.
I was hoping for a few more of those, and I was hoping for a few more lists that I outnumbered in a big way, that didn't have like a chariot or anything else crazy in them, which I really didn't draw, which we'll find out next game. But this was like my ideal list. I wanted to play 4 of these, 4 1 big hero and a load or moderate amount of troops. And I think I could have gone 4-0 pretty easily. But yeah, if there's something like a chariot, like it's nearly an auto loss because you don't have the agency to deal with it. Or if there's any other kind of crazy monsters, you just die, which is good. It's good. It should be like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, I won this one 15-2. I forgot how he got 2 points. I can't remember. He got 2 points somewhere.
Leader?
Surely leader's 3 in that one.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Oh, banner. I didn't have a banner.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's round 3. I mean, final round of the day. Zach, you're at 1 and 2. The final round was Seize the Prizes. Who did you draw and what were they playing?
I drew Chris Weens and his Iron Hills Chariot, which, if anyone listened to Andrew talk to earlier and didn't just ignore him, I fall into the exact same issues as him.
What a fun day for Chris to get 2 of these lists.
What can I do? And I don't know anything about War Chariots. I actually had never seen the model before. It was really cool to see it in person. The board we had like 2 forests in the middle. And I just said to him, was like, so like we're gonna play that as like difficult terrain, a rule that I think gets bypassed all too often, especially when so many models
Too often
have special rules. So when I see stuff that's like pretty obvious, I like to try and play difficult terrain. Good guy, Chris.
Actually,
100%.
Can I interject here quick?
You can interject.
Just while we're talking about difficult terrain. Here's a bit of a hot take. Every board should include at least 1 area of difficult terrain in it.
Yep.
And don't tuck it in the corner.
No, like somewhere in the board, not like right in the middle, but somewhere in that like middle circle where you usually end up playing.
There's going to be
Like
some engagement.
It's part of the game, and there's gotta be. We gotta use these rules. I can't stand rolling up to a table, and even when I don't have like an elf army or something, being like, there's a big block of woods, and being like on an area base, like, and they're like, we'll just count that as normal. We'll just walk through it. It's like, no, come on, man. Anyway, that's sorry to interrupt, but difficult terrain.
Good guy, Chris. Sure, sounds good. And his chariot fits right in between the 2 perfectly, but turns out if you try to maneuver, the base will go into the difficult terrain. and you have to take a damage check or something. Chariots don't do well in difficult terrain, which I felt
No.
like I didn't know beforehand. And I mean, you should play stuff like that as is, but it's like, oh, I feel like I kind of just threw this guy under the bus a little bit with that one. So for that, Chris, I'm sorry, but at the same time, I do stand by. I feel like we should play rules like that. I'm sure he does not care at all.
Well, and he played it that way, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, he understands. Yeah.
And so we all know what his
I
list
wish I had
is.
difficult terrain on my board in that game.
Well, he parked his chariot there, and he basically sat on that seize the prize. Thankfully, he can't pick it up with the chariot. So on the left flank, I was facing Dane and his guys with Farmer Maggot and the Paladins Warband. They pushed up. Farmer Maggot, smart guy, 5+ intelligence, did not pick it up the first turn. Dodged the roll.
Rough.
But I was like, you know what?
That's
It
pretty bad.
happens. And then his captain, or not his captain, but he had a shield and spirit guy pick it up, and I was like, ooh. What does it take to kill you guys? Like 6/4s? Like it was bad. And in the middle,
6-5 for you.
6/5, yeah, 6/5s, yeah. Oh, he's awful. But in the middle, I had the Gaffer run up. I was like, Gaffer's got to be smart like Maggot. He's definitely going to get this. Gaffer's dumb. Not a smart guy. 7+. Learned that one the hard way.
That's
Not a good
average.
intelligence. I mean, I guess average intelligence to other people, but compared to
Yeah.
some hobbits, dumb. Just a simple farmer doing his job, not hitting the books, and did not pick it up. So I had to get somebody else to go, or it was my next turn. I did pick it up with him. I tried again because I think other hobbits are about the same, so not really a huge leg up. Better have it on a hero. And then I ran him off into the bushes, into the difficult terrain, and just tried to bog myself down there. While on the other side, he was contesting the one object with his goat, his single goat. And I picked that one up with just some regular dudes. And somehow killed his goat. It was, the goat rider, and then goat's obviously gone. But that was fortunate. I had a bunch of guys on him. It was like, just the sheer number of dice did him in.
Yeah.
So then I was starting to make a break for his board edge with that. Hobbits are also slow, as we all know, and nothing goes anywhere very quickly. So they're just slowly making their way. He eventually U-turns the chariot to try and run back. And this shooting thing that Andrew was talking about, unbelievably good, just being in combat and just still shooting off. And I don't think he rolled many things lower than 6s or 5s for how many shots he was getting. He was mowing down the hobbits. I was winning lots of priority, so he wasn't getting like a lot of impact hits and stuff. But he was just shooting them like nothing. He ended up getting those guys trapped behind a wall. Had a whole block of them. By the end, there was only one guy left, and it was like perfect height that he couldn't see him. But as soon as I was 2 turns of being able to run to the board edge. But as that one turn in between, he would have died from being shot. So I had to leave him there. And I had other not goblins, little hobbits, tying him up from my middle that they kept chasing him down to try and bog him up. While the flank with Dane, I basically just kept running Gandalf into him, and Gandalf just kept getting worse and worse. Gandalf dies. Then I have Dane surrounded for like most of the game. Eventually, Lobelia shows up once again, trying to walk across the board to get there to start scolding him. Took forever, and don't even know if I didn't even do a single wound to him. I had so many turns, but thankfully I just had the numbers, and I was able to surround his other guys, and trapping eventually kills Iron Hills dwarves on 6/5s. 6/4s, whatever. I mean, the dogs helped a lot. I think they were only 6s I needed on them. So I think the dogs were actually the reason I got the kills. And then I was able to pick it up and run away with that one. Maggot died, I think, pretty early that game. Dane, I just smoked him like one turn of combat, took him off the table, which was really good because that was my killing potential.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he broke me. I broke him, and I won some really critical courage techs. Paladin's 12-inch stand fast really was awesome because he was the one with the treasure on the left flank that was running away, and he still got a bunch of the hobbits in range. So that was huge. But yeah, I think I ended up winning that game 11-4 because I had 3 of the objectives on his board edge. We both broke each other, and he killed my leader for some points. And neither of us had a banner, I believe. No, I had. Oh yeah, there was points for banner. I had Rosie hidden away because I thought, you know what, I'm just not going to engage. I got to keep these VPs. And then she fled. She failed the courage check. So I was like, well, R.I.P. Rosie. But I ended the day 2-2. Not great VP differentials, I think, but not too bad. It was a fun day. Chris was a good opponent to end the day with, and he got to play
He was a good
against
opponent to
the
start the day
army
with.
he painted, partly painted.
Yeah. How was playing the Shire? Do you think if you owned all the models, do you think you'd ever play it at a tournament again?
I don't know if I'd want to play at higher points levels than this. I would have to think about it. It's exhausting. Every game went down like to the very end. It was okay, guys, that's time. Finish your turn. I was finishing my turn every game. Would it help if I understood the rules and the characters better? 100%. I was double checking everything because I was like, I don't want to be misplaying this, and I think I still misplayed some things.
Yep.
There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of mini rules. There's a lot of little things. It's like, wait, is this the +1 or is this the reroll failed wounds? At 500, I think it was good at 500. I think the list definitely has legs competitively. I don't think I'm the the pilot for it competitively. I don't think I want to be that guy. That many models is exhausting. I like being done my game with like time to spare and walking around checking out on other people's games, seeing how they're doing. I got none of that. But I did have people come to checking out my games because I was still playing. For friendly games, 100%. I'd love to play this more in friendly games. I don't know if it's me competitively.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So 2-2. So you got our team a huge score at this 100-point event.
Let's go. Worst case Ontario. That was a worst case for Ontario.
Our team's going to be the worst team.
Oh, by
Andrew.
far.
Well, at least we have a chance to post a decent score. Andrew going into the final round can get to 3-1, can get up into that top 10 maybe.
Yeah, I pulled off the submarine. I'm now 2-1. I'm fighting for not top table, but I'm fighting for maybe a podium. Probably not a podium, but top 5. I'm fighting for top 6, maybe a top 10 at worst if I go 3-1. I ran into Ben Speak, who we always have great games against each other. I'm seeing now that I did not submit my score for my 4th game.
I have it here if you need it.
I put in the points. I just didn't hit confirm, or Ben put it in. Ben was playing the Beornings. And hilariously, we played at another event where I was running depths with the Balrog. And in that game, he just a little tangent. He charged both bears into the Balrog, or I think it was both, and he whiffed, and I killed a bear. And then from there, the game was pretty much over. This game, though, I didn't have a Balrog to do that. I just had to deal with 2 bears and 5 Beornings, 2 of them with great bows. when your bows are wounding on 4s, man, you take out goblins so easily. Yeah, seize the prize. So I just marched up the board with my whole army. I called 3 marches and it caught everyone. And I ended up he picked up 1 treasure and I ended up getting 2. So I held 2. Unfortunately, that was on like turn 3. And we got there really quick. So I had a long time to go to hold on to these. His Bayornians just sat back because if I killed all of them or all of them but 1, he breaks. So he just kept them back and didn't get involved. He kept them like so far away I couldn't reach them. I had 1 goblin captain pick up an objective, and he was kind of had to do this weird like loopy formation to go around the back of a terrain piece to get away from a bear and go up a board. So it was not a direct path. I'll come back to that in a bit, but yeah, he took a long path. The 2 bears in the middle just did bear things. Like Ben's dice were hot. I picked up very few dice that game. There was, for most of the game, I was just like, just roll. Like, just roll the dice, and I'm not going to count how many dice I have or how many I got in. The bears doing like a mini harbinger that stacks. Like you roll a 6, and he rolled a lot of 6s on those. There was quite a few turns where he was getting double 6s, and so I had to roll, even with a +1 from my board wide drum, I was still needing to roll 9s on terror checks to get in. And that game, I think total I had 2 chances to wound bears. Like he only lost ever 2 fights, and I got 0 wounds. No, Beorn or Grim Beorn, one of them took 2 fate and then saved it on the 3rd. And that was my only chance I had to wound bears the whole game. He was just rolling 6s or and then except for one other time where I only had a couple goblins and then they obviously didn't do anything. I had a goblin captain and 1 goblin kind of 1 turn heroic move away from a bear just to get the heck out of there towards the back of the board because there's no way they could make it around. And they, funnily enough, ended up standing in some rocky terrain to get rid of Monster's Charge, but I mean, it didn't matter. He's a bear. He's going to kill goblins. And then at that point, he had 2 treasures, and he broke me. And like, I think I must have failed like half my courage checks. Like I just lost another half of my army, or close to it. The 1 treasure I did have, the captain ran, and then a spear picked it up. The spear took like must have been at least 3, but I think it was 4 or 5 bow shots, and he failed to wound him each time. And on the last turn, when he would have walked off the board, he fled from courage. Not that, but I would have lost anyway. It didn't matter. So I lost at like, I think it's 18-0. Just like brutal. There was not much I could do. It was still a fun game. Ben's a good opponent. I enjoyed it. But from a competitive point, it was the most frustrating game just because I had no agency against bears. And it's not like with a Chariot or Dane where you just heroic move and go into them. They're like, I'm winning the fight and I'm barging and I'm pushing through your line, and I'm getting like back to your treasures where you shouldn't be able to get to. Because
he was barging.
Go on, sorry.
He was barging a lot that day. I kept every time I saw him playing, he went up against the 52 Wildman list, and just trying to barge and blow all that up. It's such a mess when you really push the models 3 inches, all the supports. Like it's a really good mechanic for monsters for sure.
He was pushing a lot of goblins out of the way. Like it got to the point where there was more goblins behind him than in front of him. And then he broke through the line without having, well, he killed a lot, don't get me wrong, but he pushed stuff through and just go in and charge more goblins. Yeah, it was rough. What could I have done better? I don't think I could have done. That was the most frustrating part, was that I think I played it quite well. Maybe I made a few little mistakes here and there. I think overall I played it quite well, and I didn't have a chance of winning that game. There was just nothing I could do. Yeah, I could have like tried to march the treasures off a bit earlier maybe, but I think he would have caught me.
Yeah, trying to get in their way when they have 8 inches movement plus a barge movement plus like they're gonna get across the board. They're gonna get where they need to be, right?
Yeah, I burned up his might pretty well, but it didn't matter. His dice were really
Yeah.
hot. It didn't end up mattering a lot. He rolled a lot of bear sixes.
That's fair. That's fair. How did you find the list was over the day? I mean, you ended up 2-2.
I got 2-2. I can't complain about that. I think I did draw 2 bad matchups with Beornings and the Chariot. Those are rough. They're always going to be rough for that list, which is good. It was interesting to just play with no heroes and no agency. You get to like march and have goblins everywhere, and there was some fun times. Like when you're facing armies with troops, and if you like to do battle line and try and trap guys and like stick a guy here and trap people behind their lines, it was a lot of fun from that perspective because you always had the advantage. And like throwing like a goblin into a hero and shielding, getting 3 dice, it's like so good.
Yeah.
But as soon as there's monsters, or chariots, it falls apart. I don't think I'll play it again. It was definitely fun one time. A lot like Zach's list. It was fun once for sure. I'm glad I did it. Kind of as like a joke that I'm playing Depths again, but there's no Balrog. And like 65 models, I think I played very quick. I had no complaints. My opponents actually were saying like, yeah, you're playing at a good pace, because I was asking them. And yeah, I was playing really quick. But if I had to move more than 65 models, like I would be slowing down a lot, like 80 models, 100 models. Like it's not fun. 65 was more than enough models to try and push around quickly and still like try and think about where they need to go. You're not just like moving stuff around. So yeah, I don't think I'll be playing that again, at least not anytime soon.
No, you better not. It's not a fun one.
Chris had fun. Ben and I had a good game. I was winning up until the last couple turns.
Yeah, the 2 guys that can handle your list.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, Zach, Stock, sorry. I don't think you had too much fun in our game, unfortunately.
No, I believe that. Yeah, I guess both of you ended up 2-2, right? You're both, I forget, I think Andrew, you were 18th out of the 40, and Zach, you must have been
23rd?
Zach was
26th, 23rd,
Oh,
something like that. I
lower
rings a
than
bell
me.
in my head.
something like that.
Everything is
that.
right in the world. Zach's below me in the
Pull it
standings.
up here.
25th.
25th. Oh, yeah. So I was really hoping for. Oh, it shows 23rd on mine.
Sorry, no, 23rd. 23rd. You're right. Yeah, so you're both 2-2, ended up the same place. At this tournament, we'll run over the winning lists quickly. In first place, we had Steve Stokes with Lothlorien. I mean, he plays a lot of Lothlorien, so he won. Yeah. Is there anything we need to say about it? I don't think so.
No.
Second, we had the 52 model usurpers list from Scott and Freka, a Carbane, and just a bunch of wildmen. I mean, it's basically your goblin list, but with I don't know if it's more tricks or not, but like he does have
It's
a chance
better.
to get fight 4, or you know what I mean? Like he's only D3.
He has man
there's-
shooting too. It's a better
He
list.
gets plus he faced Beornings too, and with the +1 to win when the Beorning botches, it's like okay,
Yeah.
it's probably going down when a bunch of wildmen have +1 to win against it, right? But so that and then third was the Depths of Moria, the Balrog. He went 3-0-1, and so that was That was a particularly good list as well. And then in 4th and 5th, we had Jeremy playing Eagles and Ben Speak playing Beornings, which was your final game, Andrew. Which, I mean, the Eagles were at the top of or second. Going into the final game, they were second, and then they lost to Steve Stokes, so dropped a little bit. But it was so funny, actually. Jeremy, I felt so bad for him all morning because I was like kept walking around. I saw everybody playing their games and stuff, and I'm walking around and like, man, he's so like he's angry and just like so upset and everything. He played Ben Gallagher round 1 against Birders Horde, and like I'm like, oh man, like the poor guy, like that's a rough loss or whatever. And then round 2, I forget who we played round 2, but I remember looking over at him and he was just oh yeah, the game against Beornings, and the Beornings were all underneath this one small piece of terrain with like a little roof on it, so he couldn't jump in at them and stuff. And then like the whole game, he's like just the head in his hands, just like I'm like, oh man, going 0-2 with Eagles, that's brutal. And then at lunch, I checked the standings, and he's 2-0. And like from watching him play, like I don't think he smiled once all day. He was just so like. I mean, it's a 100-point event. He's bringing Eagles and he's trying to win. Like, I get it. But, like, it was so funny when I realized that he was actually winning his games because I could have swore he was having the worst day out of anybody there from watching just his body language.
It's funny when you sit back and you, like, can look at people and be like, I wonder how their game's going. Are they winning? Are they losing? Are they reacting at all how you would imagine? Like, without actually being there,
it's cool to
scoring.
The one thing I learned is I'm not the only one that gets like shaky hands. Whenever I try to like go in and delicately remove a model, I saw so many people with like shaking hands trying to grab the model and pick it out.
You know when you don't get shaky hands? When you have 65 models and they're all the same. You don't care.
No, it was cool to walk around and see everybody playing. But yeah, a lot of lists, a lot of players that we expected to be up at the top were up at the top.
And some that we didn't expect to be at the top.
Like
some underdogs showing up big today. I think most notably, James Marth coming in 6th.
Yeah. Excellent showing by James.
With the return to the 16 model Return of the King list. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well done, James. Well done. I thought that list was going to struggle, and you went 3-1, only losing to Ben Boomer, and no shame there.
It's a very acceptable
round 1. He pulled the perfect submarine.
He did,
and he faced the Iron Hills Chariot. Yeah, he faced the Iron Hills Chariot and hold ground.
Yeah, he was playing that behind me in the 3rd round, and I looked over and I looked away and I looked back, and then all of a sudden the Chariot's gone, and it was like, oh, what happened there?
Yeah.
Not good.
A couple other shoutouts that I did want to mention. I had that Fellowship Finder side quest, which was like every member of the Fellowship had like a task assigned. Like Gimli was Natural Sprinter. You had to take a model, move a model, and touch opposite board edges with it. Start at one end, walk all the way across. I had Legolas was, I forget what I called his, but it was kill four enemies with shooting in one game, right, and stuff like that. Boromir was kill 6 models and then die. So crazy stuff like that. I was like, there's 9 objectives. Made some of them super hard. I was like, if somebody gets 7, I'll be really impressed. After game 1, Derek Satnick with his Fangorn had completed 8 of them. And just totally ran away with it. He got all 9 objectives. The other ones that were close, there was Jacob Vanderwall, the Iron Hills guy, got 7, and there was another one, Ewan Kerr, who had Balin with the Reclamation War. He got 6, which is what I thought was going to be a strong showing until someone went and got all 9. But I hope people enjoyed that. I tried to do like a little side quest so that some of the less competitive players still had something to play for. Even if you're at bottom tables, you can kind of try to do some fun stuff there. Yeah, otherwise the voting, for best painted was insanely close. It was all weighted, so like first place gets all your votes. Your first place vote got 3 points, your second got 2, and your third got 1. But between Justin Bertrand was his Fields of Celebrant, Chris Weens, and Ben Gallagher, there was only 6 points separating the top 3, like super close up there. And then even the display boards like Ben Boomer, Derek, and Robert were all kind of right next to each other. So it was cool to see. And like lots of people got votes with this. Getting to pick 3, there was a lot of people who got just like a couple points at the bottom. Gets them some hobby points too, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, I will say, just quickly on that, I brought my board, but I didn't put my name out and still got votes, despite putting a please no votes sign. Don't do that. Stop voting for the board. I just brought it to look at.
The arrogance of this man.
No, give someone else your votes. I've already won with that. Ben Boomer.
Oh, here we go.
Wink, wink.
Humble. Stay humble.
Said call out Ben.
Oh.
Don't vote for that board anymore. Well, unless it's like end of the season, I'm like bringing it. And I'm like, hey, consider it.
When you skip lunch to just man the board and be like, hey, are you going to vote for me?
Yeah, man. Hey, it was worth it.
I'm starving over here, but are you going to... You, sir.
You guys were no help to me. Okay, that's what this is for right here. See that? When you guys get one of these.
Mine looks the same, right?
I have one of those. But otherwise, yeah. To wrap it up, any thoughts on kind of the balance in the list? Like we saw, there were some, not a lot, but a couple shooting heavy lists. We had a lot of monster lists, a lot of horde lists, a couple like hero smash lists. Like it felt like there was, the list variety was kind of off the charts from what I expected, at least.
Yeah, I wish I would have drawn some more not big stuff lists, but there was a huge variety. Yeah, like you said, there was spam, there was like tons of models, there was very few models and everything in between. I think it was just a good event overall. It was lots of players did well, lots of players who probably would have liked to done better didn't do that well. Zach and I.
Our team.
You know what?
Sucks, man.
No, I'm actually.
Jacob Wixon was there too. All 3 of you went 2-2. I'm gonna have the best score coming out of this with my 70-point TO score. None of you are gonna beat that.
Yeah, no.
That's my guy right there.
That's a sad day for. It's a sad day.
I will say though,
worst case Ontario, man.
It was the worst case, but it turned to the best case. Oh. You're happy? Why are you happy?
I was happy to win a game with this list. Okay, so going 2-2, better outcome than I ever thought was going to happen. I'm just putting it out there.
Don't set your standards very high, do you, man?
I set achievable goals here, so when I hit them, I could be like, I did what I set out to do. I did what I set out to do. I said I'm going to win at least one game.
Yeah,
game
don't push
1 I won.
yourself.
And then I doubled it. So, how about
that? Yeah, this was truly a worst case showing from Worst Case Ontario. But
maybe not
it
worst
all didn't
case.
matter. Well, it was pretty much worst case. 2-2 for everyone.
Could have been worse.
No, it's
someone
unacceptable.
Someone should have gone 3-1.
No, I was pretty close. Both my losses I could have won, but I didn't. We won 2-2. But at the end of the tournament, I don't know if you're going to talk about this in a second, but you can cut me off if you are.
We were all winners. Go ahead.
We were all winners because it's a lovely event, good prizes. But
no, I mean because of what happened at the end of the tournament. What you getting into?
Yeah, half of the not our team, half of the whole tournament, about 20 people, all met up for dinner after, and that was awesome. That was my favorite part of the day.
Yeah,
close favorite, but it was my favorite part of the day. There were so many people who came out, where usually everyone kind of was like, "Okay, goodbye," and leaves right as the prizes are gone, and then you're like, you don't get to talk to anyone other than the 4 people you played.
Yeah.
It was so nice to get people out, and everyone was chatting, and even if I didn't talk to you, it was so nice to see everyone socialize, and during the day and then after dinner. And then Worst Case Ontario could sit down, have a couple pints together, And that was a blast. We had a good time.
Yeah.
We were laughing it up. We were talking about trains. It was great.
Yeah, brutal. And you actually get to meet people too. Like I find during the day, like you'll talk to people and ask them about their games or whatever. But like I was able to meet like Owen, I think it's Yonker or Jonker. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Maybe it is Yonker.
Owen and his friend Kyle Vandermeulen, and turns out they knew a kid that I used to play against in the league, Ronan. And so like getting to chat with them. I met Jacob V, who I have to play a TTS game this week for the TTS tournament. So just kind of like, it was cool to be at the dinner. You're still talking about MESVG, but you're actually getting to like kind of have a bit more of a chat than, oh, how was your last round? And then moving on, right? So
yeah,
was
speak for
cool
yourself. We were
cool to
talking
see
about
them.
trains about it.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on
Lucky
at that
I
table.
caught that one,
The train
buddy.
talk.
You're lucky
The
I
train
caught that
talk
one.
was insane. The train talk was insane. But again, you guys have anything else you want to wrap up about this tournament specifically?
No, please
Okay,
come out to more.
great.
Please come out to more events and make some more days like that. That was so much fun. I think everyone had a blast.
When's the potential? What's the potential to have a 40-person? Is that going to be Shulks on March 7th
Anything
at
at
Torchlight?
anything at Torchlight can go 40, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
'cause I
I'm
think-
not sure we'll get it. It's only 90 point.
With
I
that,
think February, Marth. There's James Marth and
Yeah, but
Satnick is running
he's
one
capped
at
at
the
like
end of the month, but
20,
they're both
20
capped at like
something.
24 or 26. Yeah, they're both capped, so
I'm not sure
it'll be
about
cool to
Mike's.
see. It'll
With Mike's
It'd be really cool to
events,
see those ones sell out with a cap.
Yeah.
With a cap on it like that. See them sell out and then maybe see Mike's go. I'm not expecting 40 again, but like if we all of a sudden see consistent numbers in the 30s, like that's more than what we have been doing, which is cool.
Yeah.
Keep the numbers up.
Yeah.
Keep coming out, everyone. Come out to events.
That was Into the Wild. That was my tournament for January. Andrew's running one in 2 weeks. If you haven't got a ticket, come on out.
Buy your tickets. We're getting down to it. I'm soft capping at 20, like I said, and I think I've sold. There's 11 people so far, so there's technically 9 tickets remaining. And I know a lot of people came up to me and said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming." I didn't get my ticket yet, so consider buying your ticket.
And I will be there, and Zach is probably going to sell out before he can buy a ticket. So,
Probably.
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see in 2 weeks. We'll do that. Next week we have a guest coming on from the States. We're going to chat with a little bit, hang out with him. Coming up. Anything else, guys?
Go watch your battle report.
Man, we need to work on the ending of these episodes. I already asked you guys if there was anything else.
You're supposed to mention at the beginning in the show notes, and we forgot.
Don't worry about it. Thanks everybody for listening. That's it. Into the Wild is over. We're going to keep going ahead. Our team is going to post some decent scores at this upcoming hobby event. I have a feeling. Me and Jacob Wixon are going to be there playing. Andrew might play. Who knows?
I'll probably play. I'll weasel my way in there.
But if you sell 20 tickets, man.
That's true. If I sell even numbers, I won't play.
No, because you got to sell the tickets at least to the people showing.
I really want to play. It seems so fun.
It is going to be fun. So today's Sunday, so I have 13 days. I've decided on the display board I think I'm going to work on. I'm going to try to post a bunch of pictures to Instagram as I'm going through it. I have one big 3D printed piece of terrain, and I'm going to try my hand at some old school. The hint I'll give is I have a bunch of leftover, what do they call it? Like the coffee stir sticks. Not popsicle sticks, but it's actually basically popsicle sticks, right? I have a bunch of those left over that I'm going to try to do some old school crafting and see, try my hand at that. So I've only done one display board in my life, so we'll see how this one goes.
Turned out pretty good.
2. Yeah. But that's been it for us. Paint your models.
Paint your models.
If you didn't paint your models at that tournament, paint your models.